wasn't it cool? My friend showed you these, like, it's a kind of like a bar trick, but it's a really good thing to know. Because in Japanese calligraphy or Chinese calligraphy, that's the basis. If you know those 8 strokes, and then intentionally start using what you learned. It's not mandatory, but I think it's really cool because then you can express a lot with, like 1 brush or 2 brushes. So, you guys probably know Katsuhiro Otomo, who is a famous comic artist from Japan, and he did Akira, so everyone watched Akira, right? And he uses pens, not brushes. And famously in the 80s or 90s, he said, brush drawings are too old-fashioned and it's not cool. And I still remember, like, wow, like, it was kind of shocking because I was always using brushes. But then, everything comes back. And what I think is, yes, when the lines are pen and very limited, like 1 thickness line, it's kind of cooler, it's lighter, it's more graphic. But then, again, there's pros and cons in everything. And with brushes, what you can do is with this one thing, you can make so many rich different lines, which the pens cannot do, and then express so much more. There's, again, from what you saw, my friend I did, there's speed, there's weight, there's softness, power, everything can be expressed with this one thing. And so we have to take advantage of that. And so I think that's cool to know those 8 strokes. And so I will do some quick demos and to show what kind of different things we can draw. So I did one earlier a little bit. So like, okay, so imagine hair. Some soft hair over, let's say, a girl. So draw like the hairs flowing in the wind because it's light. Oh, it's hair. So see that it kind of feels like hair. And it started to get dry brush because I haven't dipped the brush into water in a while, and it's kind of cool because it makes it even more hair-like. Like, okay, let's make a face. So eyelashes, oh no, eyebrows, sorry, eyebrows. It's even softer because it's a very thin hair, and you can draw that. But like, okay, let's go to eyes. And eyes are not those soft things. You want to kind of like hold your breath and go with like 1 stroke. And then the bottom, again, another 1 stroke. And maybe just double eyelid. And then let's give her eyelashes. And then maybe it's better to go from in, out, in, out, in, out. Just like how the eyelashes actually grow. So I will turn the paper around so it's easier for me to draw in out. Give a little bit detail of 3-dimensionality of the face. Speed of the line changes. And also how I grip kind of changes. It's softer in the hair, and then even softer when I'm drawing like thinner, shorter hairs like eyelashes and eyebrows. And it's more hold your breath and draw 1 line for eyes, face shape, and neck, things like that. So then let's move on and show some different lines. So let's say she's wearing shirt, cotton shirt. So cotton is a soft materials, but not so soft. It has a lot of edges. That's how I feel. So it almost starts to look like, this is when I have a lot of fun, because when I draw the lines for these cotton shirts, it's almost like when I was doing not me, my friend I. Sorry, it's a confusing name, isn't it? Doing calligraphy. So it's kind of start and stop, and that makes these angular lines of the shirt. So what I'm doing is actually when I'm drawing, I'm not good at calligraphy, but like I'm actually using the knowledge that we just show of calligraphy into the drawing. And also what's cool is what you can do with brushes. You know, it's line drawing, so it's actually pretty flat. I mean, obviously, but it doesn't mean we don't think about light source. So, you know, like the top of the hair might be like lighter because the light is hitting, and then bottom here, it might get thicker because that's where the shadow is. Or let me quickly draw arm, and arm, the top part of the arm probably light is hitting, so it's a little bit thinner, and then the bottom part, it's a little bit thicker. So it's still flat by doing this instead of both sides is like this. See, it start to look a bit more flat, but before it has more three-dimensionality. So, you know, it's a lot of things to think about. And in the beginning, like when I first learned this from friends and like people who taught me how to ink, I was like, man, that's a lot of things to learn. But in the beginning, you have to really think and do it. But then once it becomes your nature, you do it naturally. I don't even think, like right now I'm kind of thinking because I have to explain to you guys, but usually I can do this without even thinking because it became my second nature. So it's kind of, you know, it's not the best drawing I did, but I think you got the sense of there are different lines you can express with this, like, you know, one or two brushes you have, by how to hold it, how to put weight, like how to move quickly, slowly, softly, hard, sharp, round, and you can express all these different lines. And again, this is an example. I just showed you how I do it, but this is not the way everyone has to do it. This is just how I do it. Best thing for you guys to do is now you start drawing things, maybe things that's around you. Maybe you will draw a brush. Brush has this part, it's like wood or something, this part metal, and this soft part. And maybe you start from something simple as that, like how do you differentiate the lines? By looking and feeling what they are made of and how they should feel. So there's no right and wrong, but I think the best advice I can give you is like pay attention to different textures, different things have, and shirt, glasses, hair, hand, nails, everything. And by paying attention, you get better, and then you kind of start doing your own way and start drawing anything you see that are different textures, and think of how you can differentiate drawing them, and by doing that you get better and better and better.